Hello my good friends, good to be with you today. I want to talk about the smoker. This is our best friend in the beehive. And we need our smoker to calm our bees down. That smoke does just amazing things to help us work our colonies. Even the ones that are a little more defensive than the other ones always like to use my smoker to help me work my bees. And today I'm going to give you some tips because there's a lot of things about the smoker that beekeepers just fail to realize what you can do to help it to light easier, to burn longer, and to put it out, and to also keep it clean and last you maybe more than a year or two. It's pretty simple, and if you look at it, the design is just simple as can be. You've got your bellows over here that you squeeze. That forces air into the canister, and there's just a gap between the bellows and the canister right there. Not really a tube that joins it, but a little hole in the bellows pushes the air over into the canister, and then there's usually a grate on the bottom of the canister to hold the smoker fuel, we call it, up off the bottom of the canister. A lot of people say that the smoke actually calms the bees because it makes the bees think that their house is on fire, so they gorge themselves with honey, and then they can't sting you because they're full of honey. That doesn't make any sense to me at all, because I've been stung plenty of times with bees coming back in from foraging that are full of honey, so I don't really think that holds water. I don't think anybody ever asked a bee that question. That's maybe more of a speculation. But what we do know about bees is that they have antennae, of course, and they receive pheromones through their antennae, and that pheromone is blocked by small particles of smoke that gather on their antenna when we smoke them. So they can't communicate any longer because the smoke is like taking the phone off the hook or losing a cell phone tower. I don't think we keep phones on the hook anymore. That shows my age, doesn't it? But you get the idea that the smoke really does calm the bees because they're kind of disoriented a little bit in their ability to communicate through pheromones. And so that's what a smoker does to help calm the bees, and I really recommend you use it every time you're in your hive. I really don't think you can over smoke your bees too much. They recover. They have antenna cleaners in their leg that they scrape their antenna through to clean it really quickly. But let's get right into some of the important facts about smoking. Obviously, I've made so many videos about lighting a smoker, but some of you are here for the first time, and thank you. And what you'll notice about the smoker is that we have smoker fuel left over from last time. So inside the smoker, got more smoker fuel that didn't burn completely. So the trick in getting your smoker not to burn up all your smoker fuel is to take a cork, and when you're done using your smoker, put a cork in it. And that way it extinguishes the fire, and it saves whatever smoker fuel that you have in there. Another thing that I want to show you guys is really important. There's more smoker fuel in there. A little more burlap that it will burn again pretty easily. Some of this is kind of old, but we'll save it anyway. But in the very bottom of the smoker is a grate. And I want to take this out, but when I put it in there, I used a technique that I've taught you guys in flaring out the little legs on the grate so that it doesn't fall out. Yeah, sometimes that makes it not want to come out either. All right, so after banging on it a while, I got this out, but you can get an idea of what I'm talking about here. The legs, if you flare them out a little bit, where they scrape against the wall when you insert it, then this doesn't fall out every time you dump out your ash or something like that. That's the legs. Now these legs come folded all the way down like that when usually most smokers come with it bent all the way down. And some people don't realize to flare those out like this to keep it off the bottom, and so they have trouble with their smoker running. So check yours out. You might not have flared out your legs on your smoker fuel grate. Now, I don't know who it was, and if you're watching, please leave a comment. But I had a YouTube comment that a person watching my YouTube channel, they sent me this, and I love them. I think they sent me 3 of these. And it's a very stiff, it's not your typical bottom board screen 1/8 inch hardware cloth. This is something different. It's a really tough stainless steel screen, and they've cut a notch here to allow the smoker, the air to go into the smoker canister, and this area here holds all the smoke up off the bottom in the bellows, so, or in the canister. So the way to put this in, since the bellows are lined up on this side, this is where we want to line up this gap right here. We want this gap to line up with our bellows. So we'll just start it in like this, and again, it's pretty tight, but once you get it started, then it's just patience, a little elbow grease to work it all the way down to the bottom of your smoker. See it going in there? Now, we can use our hive tool, but I want to get it going a little bit deeper before I grab the hive tool. The screen has gone all the way down to the bottom, and as you can tell, I got my bellows lined up with the cut. Now let's talk about lighting the smoker. An easy way to light your smoker, and I think I see a lot of beekeepers make this mistake, is you have to start a fire with something other than your smoker fuel at the very bottom of your smoker. Now you've seen this before if you've watched me for any time at all. I use this crate paper, I think it's called craft paper maybe, but we use it in our shipping departments, so I just run in there and grab some. You light this down in the bottom, let that get going really well, and then you don't want to put a whole new sheet on top of what's burning because it's just going to smother it out. I see that mistake made quite often. And so the way to properly do it, well, let's talk about lighters. Obviously, you have your handy lighter that you can buy anywhere. They work pretty good. On a windy day, they don't work real well. And then there's a similar lighter that looks like this. I like it because it's a torch, so it works a little better on windy days. And then I know some of you like the big guns. You bring out the big torches. Not everybody has one of these, but these are nice. Turn the gas on, and you got a big flame to light your smoker and to burn something else that you didn't intend to burn. It's like, whoa, my pants are on fire. But anyway, if you're pretty handy with these simple things, then obviously all you need to do is use a lighter. But what you want to do is put it in here like this and light the bottom of it. Now it's windy today. I'd say about 10 to 12 mile an hour wind, so this lighter might not work, but I try to light the bottom of my paper like this and get the paper burning. And don't be fooled, because sometimes you think the paper is burning, but by the time you drop it down in there, it's not. If you notice, it just went out. And so if you pull it back out, it may start up again on its own. But what we're going to have to do is make sure that see how it started up again? We got to get this paper burning really good before you drop it down in there. So just wait a minute, let it get a pretty good fire going all around it, and then you can drop it down in there. And we can also smoke it, puff the bellows. That will help our paper get burning. I'm using my lighter just to support it off the side so it doesn't fall to the bottom just yet, as you can see. Now it's on the bottom, and you can see the difference. We actually have a flame. Now once you have a flame down there, take something small, like a small piece of burlap. Just throw a little small pieces of burlap, not a big one, and then keep smoking it. And now you want to ignite the little starter strips. Let's call them starter strips. And so get the little small starter strips going, and you can see fire. Now it's not time to put anything else in there yet. We need more little small starter strips. Here's another one. These are left over from the last time that I turned it off or plugged it up. So we had a whole bunch of little starter strips. We're going to ignite all of them really well. Look at that. That's a big flame, right? Look at that. It's hot. It's a big flame. Now we're going to add a piece of our other smoker fuel that we were using last time. I'm going to drop it down in there as well. Let it fall, or pack it in there if you want to. Now you have to ignite it. I'm destroying my camera lens. The smoke and the dust is going right for my lens. All right, so now we ignite the big piece. See that? You can hear it. And you can see the flame now. Look at that. Now, we're not done, because if we're going to do an inspection that's going to take a while, we need to add another sheet of burlap like this. And so I'm going to take it and I'm going to fold it to where all of these rough edges are facing down where the flame is. So that gives me a new piece Just leave it level with the top, but I have to ignite it. I'm not done with this smoker running good until I see flames making me aware that my top piece of burlap is on fire. So I will keep doing this until I hear and see flames. Getting close, we're almost there, aren't we? Now if you quit too early, this piece will not work. There they are, look at those flames, see that? That's hot. Now we can close the lid. That's what you want. Wow, that is just insane, and it's a lot of smoke. Now before I give you the next tip on the smoker, I'm excited about this Thursday, 7 p.m. Central Time. Please join me for my live stream. I'll leave a link right here. We have giveaways. I answer your questions on beekeeping and anything else you want to ask me. It's a good time. I hope you'll join me. Again, the easiest way to put this fire out while retaining all the burlap that we put in there is to use a cork like this and just insert it into the tip of your smoker, and now it really does go out. Let me give you another tip that's going to be really helpful for your smoker, and that is it develops a lot of creosote, whether you're using pine needles or if you're using something like the burlap. When it burns, it can leave a lot of kind of like a greasy, almost tarry, like a tar type substance all around the lip of your smoker. And this got so bad on my smoker, it was hard to close and open it anymore. And I've got a trick and a tip that's going to help you keep the rim clean. Let me show you. You know, the old smoker gets pretty built up with a lot of creosote. Look at that black stuff, gets all over your hands. My videographer Pat said, oh, what I use to clean mine is I use a blowtorch and just melt it off. So we're going to give that a try today. Kind of windy right here, but we're going to see how this works, because it would be nice to get that cleaned up a little bit. Wow, my son put that knob pretty tight. If you like my videos, like my channel, be sure to please subscribe. I appreciate it so much. What do you think, Pat? Am I doing good?
So far.
Yeah.
The box hasn't caught on fire.
Haven't burnt the house down yet?
Yeah.
I brought a little brass brush to see if it would kind of brush off a little bit. Oh, look at that, it's burning. Wow, that's like brand new. I'm probably overheating it. Oh, wow. Brilliant, Pat. Wow, lifesaver. It was getting so bad that I really couldn't hardly open it up anymore, because it was just so sticky and stuck together. Yeah, that's great. Do you do the inside too or not?
I always did the inside of the spout.
Oh, inside of the spout also, yeah. Do you brush yours off?
Nope.
Will you now, since you see how good it works?
I might. I'm too lazy to clean it.
But it is working just to burn off all that's collected on the side of the wall and the spout too, you know. That's pretty impressive, Pat. Man, I never thought that when I started working with you, you'd have great ideas about cleaning out the smoker. Yeah, look at that. I got some paper towels, shop towels I'll use here. Another tip is to always have extra smoker fuel available when you're in the bee yard. Whether you've got 1 hive or 100 hives, I think it's important to take enough of your smoker fuel, whether it's pine needles, burlaps, whatever you use, have that packed into your bee suit, in your pockets. And that way, if you're caught kind of off guard, like, uh-oh, my smoker's running low, I didn't realize it, grab some out of your suit pocket, cram it in there, puff it, and you're still going. And the final tip that I want to share with you is about making sure that your smoker is always going. That's a big tip that new beekeepers fail to realize. They get out in the bee yard, they get busy, they get distracted by the hive itself, and then all at once their smoker goes out because it wasn't puffed. So what I want you to do is keep thinking that every time that you look at one frame and put it back, actually pick your smoker up, puff it 3 or 4 times, and then smoke your hive and then puff it and set it back down. Now for coffee time, I want to talk to you guys about what the thumbnail suggested. Do you know any beekeepers that aren't very nice? Well, beyond beekeeping, do you know people that aren't nice? Hey, I'll give you a tip, something that I learned a long time ago. As a little child, I learned this. And I don't know if somebody taught it to me or if I just had the ability to pick up this. But I found out that if you're nice, you can get a lot further on most things. You can get further in life, you can just more things come your way if you're nice. And there's a lot of sayings that address this, you know. You can attract more flies with honey than vinegar, stuff like that. I don't know if that's right, but I think that's how I remember it. But the idea of being kind and nice, being nice is powerful. Now, I'm going to kind of give a confession that something I'm not real proud of. And that is when my dad was dying, he kind of was regretting that he was a nice guy. He kind of felt like on his deathbed that maybe being nice didn't really get him very far. And I don't know why he said that. You know, it's one of those things that you always need to be careful what you say. But when I heard him say that, I was kind of disappointed because everybody knew my dad as a very nice guy, and everybody really loved and appreciated my dad as a man, as a vice president of a company. I mean, he was just so good with people, and he had such people skills. And that the ability to have people skills and be nice and kind really helped my dad go far in life. So I think he was wrong. I think maybe he was just thinking about some people that he was nice to that weren't very nice back to him. Has that happened to you before? Leave a comment if you've gone out of your way to be nice to others and they have been mean or disrespectful or unkind back to you. Now, I've had plenty of that over my lifetime. I know that some of you have always wondered what my other career was, and I'm taking the liberty of not saying that. But I would say in my former career, I found out really fast how hard it is sometimes to live with people and work with people that are sometimes not only unkind, but they're out to pull the rug out from under your feet. They're out to do you under. And that's painful. It really is. And so we've all been in those situations where people aren't kind to us. And leave a comment if you've been in a place like I have where people will take advantage of me to try to boost themselves, but never return the favor. And I don't know, I don't like to play those kind of games. I don't like to be used by other people for their advantage, and yet they never want to reciprocate with that at all. So maybe that's what my dad was thinking, that he was nice to other people and the favor was never returned very often. But look, here's the deal. It doesn't matter. I really get such joy and enthusiasm and encouragement in being nice to people. If you've ever met me, I think I can safely say one of the things you would find a character about me, I'm a nice guy. Now, I'm going to be nice as long as you will let me. There comes a point where if you mistreat me, abuse the relationship, abuse whatever, I can't be nice anymore, okay? I have to walk away. And that's just the way it is. But as long as you will let me, I will be nice to you. And it's so good to live in a world where we can treat each other in a nice, civil way. And we're losing that. So being nice and being kind to each other, it really does get you really far in life. It really does. And one of the things that I learned early on is to smile. When you smile, people believe that you're in a good mood, that you're a safe individual, and that your intentions are good when you smile. And so instead of having a neutral or a frowny face, try smiling more. It's powerful when you're around other people, when you're in a meeting, when you're at work, or when you're talking to other beekeepers at a conference or something. If you can smile, it really does portray that you are a happy, positive, kind individual rather than a frowny face. And it's a simple thing to do. I've heard that we use less muscles when we smile than when we frown. Not sure if that's true, but I've heard that. Now, if you're fearful about harvesting your first batch of honey from your hive this year, I'm going to help you push in and get her done. We're going to cowboy up and harvest some honey. Just made a video for you step by step from hive to bottle. Take a look. I'll see you guys over there.